Hello students, in this lecture we will continue the discussion of simply supported beam subjected to various types of loads. We have already done the case of simply supported beam with the point loads and also separately the case of the simply supported beam with uniformly distributed load. Today we are going to consider a simply supported beam which is subjected to both point load as well as the uniformly distributed load. One such beam is shown here. This beam AB is supported at point A and point B and is subjected to 2 point loads. One is of 4 kN at point F and the another is 1 kN at point C. Besides these point loads, the beam is also subjected to a uniformly distributed load of magnitude 2 kN per meter, and this load is being applied between point D and point E of the beam for a span of 2 meter length. Now the total length of the beam is given as 6 meter and the locations of the point loads are also known to us from the figure. We need to work out the reactions of the support at point A and B in order to draw the shear force diagram. So let's apply the basic principle of static equilibrium. So making the sum of the forces in the vertical and horizontal direction as equal to 0. So that gives us there are two forces, the support reactions Rn plus Rb, and they should be equal to the applied forces which are acting in the downward direction. So that's why we have here the 1 kN load and a 4 kN load. These are the 2 point loads which are acting downwards. Apart from that, there is a 2 multiplied by 2, that is 2 kN meter load applied for 2 meter length. So that gives us total 4 kN load acting in a downward direction. The net sum is equal to 9 kN, that equals to Ra plus Rb. Now we have here the force Ra, and let's calculate the moment of these reaction and the forces about the point B. So as the support reaction Ra is acting at a distance of 6 meter from the point B, so we have one Ra into 6 moment acting in a clockwise fashion. So this reaction, support reaction, and multiplied by the distance will give us the moment which is acting in a clockwise fashion. Then we have the point load 1 acting in the causing a moment in the anti-clockwise fashion. So it is acting at a distance of 5 meter from the support B. So we get the term here 1 into 5. Then we have the uniformly distributed load of 2 kN per meter for a span of 2 meter. So that gives a total load of 4 kN, 2 multiplied by 2. So that gives us the 4 kN load. And as we have already discussed, that we can assume this uniformly distributed load as a point load for the purpose of calculating reaction to be acting exactly at the middle of this span. So this is the point where it is acting, and this point is at 3 meter distance from the point B. So 2 into 2, that is 4 kN multiplied by the distance 3 here. Then we have the 4 kN load acting at a distance of 1 meter, so giving again a anti-clockwise reaction. So the third term that is coming with a negative sign is minus 4 into 1. We will utilize these reactions to calculate Ra and Rb as 3.5 kN and 5.5 kN respectively by solving these two algebraic equations. Now let's calculate the shear force at the various location of the beam, and for this purpose we will assume the beam to be cut at different portions. Like we start for the portion AC, so we are starting right now in this case from the left hand side. You can always start from any side. You can also start from the side B, so you can have the segment BF. It is going to give you the same results. So let's start here from the left hand side and assume the beam to be cut somewhere between A and C, and let's draw the free body diagram for the left hand portion of the beam. As the left hand portion encompasses only reaction force RA, so that is the net shear force acting will be equal to the RA. So Fx will be equal to RA for this span, which is 3.5 kilonewton, and as this is not dependent on X, so for the entire spans from A to C it is going to remain same, so that's why FA and FC both will be equal to 3.5. Now we move to the next span CD. This time we assume the beam to be cut anywhere between C and D. Now there are two forces acting on the left side portion of the beam, whose free body diagram we will draw. So to balance these two forces, one RA in the upward direction and 1 kilonewton in the downward direction, so net sum will be RA minus 1, so the shear force will be equal to this amount. So if we substitute RA is equal to 3.5, it gives us Fx equal to 2.5. Again, the equation of shear force is not dependent on X, so for the entire span from C to D it is going to remain same, so FC and FD both will be equal to 2.5. Next span is span DE, and if we assume the beam to be cut anywhere between D and E, and if we draw the free body diagram for the left hand section of the beam, we have the force RA in the upward direction, which is equal to 3.5. We have force 1 kilonewton acting in the downward direction, so that's why minus 1 here. Then we have uniformly distributed load of 2 kilonewton per meter for the distance which is acting here. So this distance will be equal to, if X is the distance of this cut section from the left hand side, so the distance of the span over which this uniformly distributed load will be acting will be given by X minus 2 meter. So we need to subtract this distance of 2 meter from X in order to calculate the span on which the uniformly distributed load is acting. So that's why you get here 2 kilonewton per meter multiplied by the span over which it is acting, which is X minus 2. So this is our equation. Now this equation is dependent on X, so if we evaluate it for the X equal to 2, it is going to give you 2.5 as shear force value, which is the shear force at point D, which is on the left segment of this span. And if you substitute X equal to 4 for the point E from the left hand side distance, it gives you Fe equal to minus 1.5, or shear force at point E equal to minus 1.5. Now we go ahead and consider the span of EF. Cut the beam anywhere between E and F. Draw the free body diagram for the left hand section of the beam. There is a force RA, there is a force 1 kilonewton downward, which were there earlier also. Then we have the entire shear force acting for this span EF. So the total the entire uniformly distributed load acting for this span. So there is a total load because of this uniformly distributed load will be 2 multiplied by kilonewton per meter multiplied by the distance 2 meters. So that is 2 into 2, 4. So here you get 3.5 minus 1 minus 4, which is equal to minus 1.5. Now again, this is not dependent on X, so for the span completely from E to F, the value will remain constant as minus 1.5. Finally, we can go ahead and do the same exercise for the span FB and find that Fx will be equal to minus 5.5 for this by adding one more force of 4 kilonewton in the downward direction in this equation. So in this way we have calculated the shear force values for all the points from A to B, between A to B, and let's now draw the shear force diagram using the values that we have determined. As our convention for the shear force, we have taken the pair of anticlockwise shear force as positive, so we start drawing with the value of 3.5 on the positive side here. So at FA is equal to 3.5, FC is equal to 3.5, so from point A to C it is a horizontal line. Then at point C it drops to the 2.5 value, so there will be drop here, vertical drop from 3.5 to 2.5. Then it remain constant up to D point as 2.5. So you see again a horizontal straight line up to 2.5. Then at x equal to 4 or FE, it goes to minus 1.5. So from 2.5 it is changing to minus 1.5, and it has a linear relationship with x. So from 2.5 to minus 1.5 there will be a negative slope line here, which is straight line which will be connecting from these 2 points. Then it remains 1.5 from FE to FF, so there is a constant horizontal line here. Then again the value will drop to minus 5.5 at point F, so we reach here, and then it remains constant up to FB as minus 5.5. So this is going to be our shear force diagram, and this is the way we are going to see it behaving. So there is a positive side of this diagram, there is a negative side of this diagram. For half of the beam the shear force is positive, and for remaining half it will be negative. Now for drawing the bending moment diagram, we need to multiply these forces with the corresponding value of the distances. So we start with the span AC, and when we cut the beam anywhere between A and C, and we see that the reaction force RA is at a distance x from this cut section. So our bending moment will be RA into x, which is 3.5 into x, and calculating it at the span extreme end at A and C, at MA will be 0 and MC will be equal to 3.5 for putting x equal to 1. When you go for the next span, things are still straightforward, and you cut it anywhere between C and D. There are two forces, RA and 1 kilonewton. So there will be movement because of RA in a anti-clockwise in a clockwise fashion, so that will be RA into x, and then there is a anti-clockwise movement because of the 1 kilonewton load, which will be acting at a distance of x minus 1 meter. This 1 meter will be subtracted from the x to obtain the distance between 1 kilonewton force and the cut section. So therefore you will get in this equation RA into x minus 1 into x minus 1. Evaluate it at the extreme section of the beam, of the span of the beam, that is x equal to 1 and x equal to 2. You get MC and MD as 3.5 and 6. Now when we go to the span DE, there is a uniformly distributed load is also acting. So if you assume the beam to be cut anywhere between these two, the reaction of the RA and 1 will be the same as in the previous equation, so I am not repeating those things again. So you still get 3.5x minus 1 into x minus 1. But apart from that, there will be a movement because of this uniformly distributed load. Now this the span of that we have already talked about is x minus 2 when we were discussing our shear force equation. So there is a 2 into x minus 2, that is the force value, and we can assume it to be acting exactly at the middle of that particular portion. So that is x minus 2 divided by 2. So that becomes x minus 2 whole square by 2 here, right? So we can always assume this uniformly distributed load as a point load for the purpose of calculating moments. So it acts exactly at the middle of that span. So the span was x minus 2 meter, so it is acting exactly at the middle, so it will be x minus 2 by 2, and the force was 2 into x minus 2, so that's why you get this term of 2 into x minus 2 by 2 whole square by 2. Now you can evaluate it at the spans both end, x equal to 2 and x equal to 4. So that gives you the bending moment value at ends as MD equal to 6 and MD is equal to 7 here. Then you get the section EF, and in the section EF, when you cut the beam and you consider the left hand section, there will be movement because of the RA, there is a movement because of the 1 kilonewton load that we already have discussed here in the previous equations also, that remains same. And then there will be movement because of the uniformly distributed load. Now this time the entire load will be acting 2 into 2, 4 meter, exactly at the middle of the span we can consider it. So and its distance between this and the cut section will be, as this is x, so this will be x minus 3 meter. So that's why you get 2 into 2 into x minus 3 meter. You evaluate this at x equal to 4 and x equal to 5 at the span's extremities, and you get the ME is equal to 7 on bending moment at point F equal to 5.5. You can complete this exercise by calculating the bending moment equation for the span FB, which will be very straightforward, and there will be addition of 4 kilonewton load and the moment because of that, which will be 4 into x minus this distance, which is 5 meter. So you get x minus 4 into x minus 5 apart from the other terms that we have that have appeared in the previous span equation. And then you can evaluate it for the x equal to 5 and x equal to 6, which are 5.5 kilonewton meter and 0 kilonewton meter respectively. Now we are going to draw these values, and we see that from A to C it changes from 0 to 3.5 by a straight line relation. So x, there is a linear relationship with x. Again there is a linear relationship from reaching from 3.5 to 6, again a straight line here. Now the value changes from 6 to 7 from point D to E. So for here at point D and point E the values are 6 and 7, but in between these 2 points there is a parabolic variation because of the quadratic relation we are getting with the x here. So the value here will be, there will be a parabola relationship. So from reaching from point D to E, or value from 6 kilonewton meter to 7 kilonewton meter, there will be a parabola appearing over here to connect the point, these 2 points. Then from 7 to point 5.5 there is a linear relationship, so there will be again a straight line, and from 5.5 to 0 again there will be a straight line here. So apart from these 1, 2, 3 and 4 straight lines, only this middle span has this parabola shape here, and we see that the value is reaching somewhere to the maximum value between these 2 points D and E. And what is this value of the maximum bending moment that we would like to know? And for this purpose I have already told you in the previous lectures also that wherever the shear force is 0, your bending moment is going to be maximum in that span. So as we are reaching to 0 in this span between D and E, so here if we use the equation for the shear force equation for span DE and equate it to 0, we will get the value of x for which the shear force is 0 and the bending moment is maximum. So while calculating the maximum bending moment from equation 1, the shear force is 0 at x equal to 3.25. This is the value we calculated by equating the equation 1 to 0. Now we substitute this value of x equal to 3.25 in our bending moment equation for the span DE, or the equation 2, and when you substitute x equal to 3.25, you calculate the maximum bending moment as 7.56 kilonewton meter. So here in this figure the value of the maximum bending moment will be shown as 7.56 kilonewton meter, which is exactly at the middle of this span. So far we have discussed only the case of the beams, simply supported beam, which is contained between the supports. What if the beam is overhanging on the one side, which is quite usual case in the machine components or in the structural members that we encounter. So here we have a case of simply supported beam with overhang on one side. You can see from this figure that the beam is supported at point A and point B only. So these are the point A and B where the beam is supported, and beam is overhang on one side. That means on side A it is having extra length which is projecting out of the support up to point C, and this extra length of the beam is of A meter. Okay, so the length of distance between the span A and B is L, is given by L, and the overhang of the beam is given by the length A. Now this beam is subjected to a load of W kilonewton point load acting at point C, or at the overhang portion, and we need to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram for this beam. Like in the previous cases, first thing that we need to do is to identify the support reactions, and this, for the support reaction we will use the static equilibrium condition. That means the sum of the forces in the vertical direction to be equal to 0 and the sum of the moment should be 0. So we will go ahead with that. So we have for the moment, if we take the moment about point B, so we have the RA support reaction acting at a distance L from this support B. So because of that there will be a anti-clockwise movement because of this support reaction. So RA into L will give the movement in anti-clockwise direction. Now there will be a clockwise movement because of the W force acting at a L plus A distance from the point B. So that's why you will get a RA into L minus W into L plus A, that is the net moment acting about the point B. The moment of the support reaction point B about its own point will be 0 because of the distance is 0 being 0. So these are the only two moments that will be acting on the beam. So their net sum is equal to 0 here, which provides us the value of reaction of the support RA as W into L plus A by L. Now as the total support RA plus RB will be equal to the applied load W, so RB will be equal to W minus RA. So that gives us RB value, or the support reaction at B will be equal to minus W by A by L. So you see this particular support reaction will be acting in the downward direction. Our RA support was acting in the upward direction, while RB is acting in the downward direction. So this is, we should be carefully able to understand, and which is quite obvious also, because the point W, when we'll try to push the beam at the point C with the load point W, the reaction of the point B, support B, will be to contain the beam from lifting from that point. So that's why the reaction of the support B will be in the downward direction, and that we also get from our calculation as minus WA by L. Now drawing the shear force diagram and the bending moment diagram will not be that difficult, because we have already gone through that. We are going to consider the different span as the span CA. Assume the beam to be cut anywhere between C and A. Consider the right hand section of the beam. There is only force W which is acting, so shear force at the cut section will be equal to the applied load W, not dependent on the X, this equation. So that's why for the entire span from C to A, the shear force value will remain same as the capital W. Then you go for and cut the beam somewhere between A and B, and you mark this distance as X, and there are only two forces. One is W acting in the downward direction and support reaction RA acting in the upward direction. So net sum will be W minus RA, and W minus RA is, we already know, is equal to minus WA by L. So it is minus WA by L, and again it is not dependent on X. So for the entire span from A to B, it will remain same as minus WA by L to minus WA by L. When we plot the shear force diagram, so at point C, as we know, the value is W, and point A it is W, so it remains as a horizontal line from C to A. Then at point A it drops from W to minus WA by L, so it becomes from positive to negative, and the value becomes WA by L in the negative side, and then it remains same up to point B, so it is minus WA by L. So this is the positive side of its shear force, and this is negative side of the shear force on the beam. Now we will draw the bending moment diagram, and for the bending moment diagram, again we assume the beam to be cut somewhere between A and C. Force W acting at a distance X will give us the moment as Wx, which evaluated at x equal to 0 will give us MC equal to 0, and at x equal to small a it will give us MA is equal to WA. For the span WB, when you cut the beam somewhere between them, then there is a moment because of the W, which is W into X, and moment because of the reaction support RA as RA into X minus small a, which is the distance from the cut section here. So this gives us this equation here. We substitute x, the different value of x equal to a and x equal to L plus a for the span, and we find out that MC is equal to WA and MB will be equal to 0 from this equation. Now in order to draw this bending moment diagram, as we know, because of the application of this load, the beam will takes a shape kind of this, which is a kind of a drooping shape, and for our consideration we have considered it to be a negative bending moment because the upper portion of the beam will be in tension while the underside of the beam will be in compression because of the such application of the load, which is negative bending moment as far as my convention is concerned. So I draw the entire bending moment diagram on the negative side, and it is 0 at MC and at point B, and at the exactly at the point B and C, and exactly at the middle its value is W into A. Now we have another case of simply supported beam. This time the beam is not only having the overhang, but it is subjected to uniformly distributed load. The length of the beam is total 6 meter, and the distance between the span is 4 meter, and beam is supported at point A and point B, and there is a overhang portion of AC which is of 2 meter length, which we can see from the figure. The beam is subjected to uniformly distributed load of W kilonewton per meter, which is 1 kilonewton per meter. The numerical value is given. The first thing that we do is to identify the reactions, and for the reactions, let's take the moment about the point P. So this will give us RA into 4, because the support reaction RA is acting at a 4 meter distance from the point B. So RA into 4 is the moment in the anti-clockwise direction. This is the direction of the movement, and because of the applied force uniformly distributed load, there will be movement in the clockwise direction. So the total force that is acting because of this uniformly distributed load will be 1 kilonewton per meter multiplied by the span length, the total length of the beam, that is 6. So 1 into 6 is the amount of force that is acting, and for the taking moment we will consider it to be acting exactly at the middle of that span, so that is 3 meter from the support B. So that's why you get here 1 into 6 into 3 here in this equation, which gives us the value of RA equal to 4.5 kilonewton. Now the sum of RA plus RB will be equal to the applied load, and the applied load is the 1 kilonewton per meter multiplied by the length of the beam, which is 6 meter. So RA plus RB is equal to 6. So this gives us the value of support reaction RB equal to 1.5 kilonewton. Now once we have determined the reactions, we can calculate the shear force at different span. So for that purpose, let's consider the span AC, and if we cut the beam anywhere here between A and C, and we consider only this right hand side portion of the beam for drawing the free body diagram, we see that the force of magnitude W into X, because we consider it as a distance as X, so W into X will be acting here. So the moment of that will be WX, the shear force will be W into X only, and as the W is equal to 1, so Fx will be equal to simply X. For X equal to 0, it will give us Fc equal to 0, and X equal to 2, this is going to give us shear force at A is equal to 2 kilonewton. Now for the span AB, if we cut the beam anywhere between A and B and assume this distance from the point C as X, and draw the free body diagram of this right hand section of the beam, so we have the force applied force of 1 into X, or W into X kilonewton, which is acting here, and then there is a support reaction of 4.5 kilonewton in the upward direction, so there is Wx minus 4.5, so that becomes finally X minus 4.5 after substituting 1 kilonewton per meter in place of W. When you evaluate for the X equal to 2 and X equal to 6, you get the value of shear force at the two extreme ends of this span. That means for point A it will be evaluated as minus 2.5, and for point B it will be evaluated as 1.5. Now let's draw the shear force diagram here. So for the shear force diagram is concerned, we have Fc equal to 0, so you start from the point 0, and then for up point Fa equal to 2, you reach up to this point, and as it is linearly dependent on X, so there will be straight line upslope here from 0 to 2. Then for the span AB, when you see that at point A it reduces from 2 to minus 2.5, so value is dropping from 2 to minus 2.5, and then at point B again it is becoming positive and reaching to the 1.5 value, and from reaching from 2.5 to 1.5 it is again a slow relationship, straight lines relationship. So there will be a straight line here for connecting these 2 points. So you see here there is a positive part of this shear force diagram, then there is a negative part, and then again there is a positive part. Somewhere between point A and B it is going to be 0. The shear force is going to be 0. Then for the bending moment diagram, we multiply the applied forces with the distance of that cut section. So for the span AC, if you cut the beam somewhere between A and C, so the load that is acting is W into X. You assume it to be acting at the half of the distance of it, so W into X into X by 2. So you get the X square, WX square by 2, W is 1, so that gives you X square by 2. And you calculate for X equal to 0 and X equal to 2 the bending moment values of point C and point A. Then for the span AB, if you cut the beam anywhere between A and B, so apart from Wx square by 2 for this span, there will be a support reaction Ra acting here, which will be acting at a distance of x minus 2. So minus Ra into x minus 2 appears here in this equation, and for x equal to 2 and x equal to 6, it is going to give you the bending moment value as Ma equal to 2 and Mb equal to 0. Now when you go for drawing the bending moment diagram, you see start with the 0 value here, so this is 0. Then you reach for point A as 2, and the relationship is quadratic for this span, so therefore this variation will be parabolic. So from 0 to 2 kilonewton meter, the value will be this parabola. It is not a straight line, please mind it here. Then from the point 2, it is going to be 0 again, but you see here again there is a quadratic relationship. So from point 2 to 0 it is not a straight line. Please don't make a mistake of connecting these as with a straight line here. From point 2 to 0 it is going by because of this quadratic relation, there will be a parabolic shape here appearing here. So that's why to connect these 2 points there will be a parabolic variation, and somewhere it is going to be maximum positive here for this side. What will be that point? Obviously wherever the shear force is 0 between this span, that will be the point where you will get the maximum bending point. And we know the shear force equation for this span is this equation, which is x minus 4.5. If you equate it to 0, you will get the value of x where the shear force will be 0, and using that value of x equal to 4.5, you evaluate the bending moment from the equation 2, which gives you the maximum bending moment for this span as 1.125 kilonewton. So kilonewton meter rather, please add it here, make a correction. So it will be 1.125 kilonewton meter between this point, and this will be at a distance of 4.5 meter from the right hand side. Okay, now you see also the bending moment is getting 0 somewhere in this span also. So where at this point it will be getting 0, you can obtain that value of the x where it is getting 0 by equating the equation 2 to 0. So when you equate the equation 2 to 0, you get the two values of x. One is x equal to 3 and another is x equal to 6. So x is equal to 6 is this point, and x is equal to 3 is the point here. So you see at this point the bending moment will be 0 again. Okay, so now this brings us to the end of today's lecture. We will do some more cases of the simply supported beam and the cantilever beam with other kind of loads also in the next class.